What is up, guys? So I'm going to be doing a little review. Well, not a review, but just going over my experience with the Sony A7R camera. Alright, so basically I had a Canon 6D, which was about 20 megapixel camera, and I've really wanted to get a new camera, have a more higher megapixel, and I've looked around, and what I really want is the Sony A7R II. I really wanted that camera. It was just a A7R II because it's getting all the buzz. I look at all the reviews and everything. I really wanted it, but I could not afford it because that camera, Sony A7R II, cost like $3,000 news, and I couldn't justify myself spending that much money on a camera because, let's face it, you see, cameras are like girlfriends, you know? You have them for a couple of months, you get a new one. You get them for a couple of months, you get a new one. So for me, I switched camera like I switched t-shirts. I knew that if I spent a lot of money on a camera, I'm probably going to end up selling it anyway. So when I buy a camera, I usually buy a second-hand camera, used camera. I also buy second-hand underwear as well. You know, I go to a thrift store, I buy underwear that is used. But same thing as camera too. I buy used cameras. The reason I want to sell this is because I accidentally broke it by trying to fix it, which is my fault because I sometimes could be really stupid. When I bought it, it was not broken. So, but such a sad thing for me because I really love this camera. It's the camera that fits me perfectly. So what's so good about this camera in terms of its design, in terms of its overall look, the feel in the hand? It is sexy. It is just awesome camera. I love it. It fits me perfectly. It's not boring like these Canon camera that is just like, I don't know, these cameras just, it looks like a camera, it's cool, it works, but it's so boring. That's it. There's nothing to the camera other than the camera, but this one has flair, it has personality, and it makes you want to like customize it, you know, put some leather strap on it. Compare that to like a traditional DSLR like this, which is heavy, massive, a workhorse of a camera that is good for a professional camera, professional photographer doing events and all the stuff. For me, I'm not really shooting events and high demanding stuff. I'm just shooting people most of the time with guns, but sometimes with camera I'm just shooting a picture of girls, most of the time naked. So you know, it's slow pace, it's not fast moving kind of shoot. So this camera is like a perfect camera for me. So let's talk about this camera. This camera is a 36 megapixel camera. Menu were kind of hard to use as Sony menus are, but at the same time I found that using Sony menu was actually sometimes even better than Canon. It's only been 3 months with this camera, but I've gotten used to this Sony menu and how it works that I actually like it way more than Canon stuff. I really do. The biggest problem with this camera is in this RAW files. I don't know if it's true for most people, but when I take these RAW files on my Lightroom, I have a pretty beefy PC. I have a HP Z20 workstation. It has two processor, E5 2670. Although those processors are really cheap, it's like $70 a processor. I guess you get what you pay for, but still, this camera RAW files coming out of this camera, 36 megapixel, are just painfully slow in Lightroom. Even if I had like one-to-one preview rendered out, it is so slow. I don't know why. Maybe if you guys have Sony A7R II, it might be better, even though it's 42 megapixel, because this camera, which is 24 megapixel, is 6300 raw files. It works okay. It ain't that fast. But the surprising thing is, okay, this Canon camera right here, the 5DSR, with the 50 megapixel, Lightroom doesn't lag as much as this guy right here. I mean, I do have a pretty good amount of RAM. I have about 128 gig of RAM on this HP machine, so it is pretty beefy. But even then, it still cannot handle the 36 megapixel Sony RAW files. But it was able to handle the Canon 50 megapixel RAW file, no problem, on Lightroom. So obviously, it is not because of the megapixel or the file size. It is because I think Sony raw files are probably just maybe too much, maybe too much information, maybe it has more dynamic range. I don't know why, but it didn't work, so it just really slowed down my workflow. So that's one reason why I'm selling this. because it's really slowed down my workflow, even compared to the Canon 5D SR, which is a 50 megapixel. So I'm sad to say, but I gotta let you go. But man, it is just sexy camera. I have a leather grip. It's genuine leather. Smells like leather. Kind of smells like shit because I have my hand in my ass, but it just smells so good. Looks so good. Fits in my hand, but I'm so sad that I had to let it go. So goodbye, my Sony camera. I will probably see you maybe in the future if you come up with a Sony A7R III. See if that raw files are better. But for now, I have to say goodbye to this.